NTV, Steven Mbidde is my name. I'm here in Kulambiro. I'm going to be speaking to Patrick Mutabwire. He has been a candidate for other persons in Western Uganda, that is in NRM polls, and this for the special interest group, that is for other persons. But of course, as we've heard from Monday, concerns have been rising from different candidates concerning the way the management of these polls that have been happening at Kololo for the special interest groups. That was from Monday and Tuesday. But also yesterday we saw how the polls for the Central Executive Committee were handled, and some of them up to now they are not contented with whatever happened. And one of them is Patrick Mutabwire. He was contesting on the position of Member of Parliament for Western Uganda, representing other persons. He's here with me. He was beaten according to the results that were released by Dr. Tango Doi by Jacqueline Mbabazi, the wife to former Prime Minister Mama Mbabazi. Good morning to you, Patrick.
Yes, good morning, and good morning, viewers. Yeah.
You are not contented with the way your polls were handled.
Yes.
First of all, the position of other persons. How relevant is it for you that you had to put your weight into this race?
Yeah, the position of older persons is part of the attempts of government to make the governance inclusive. And we started this mostly in local governments, where we have two councillors representing older persons, a female and male. And that was in addition to other inclusive measures like youth, women, the third of women, and workers. All that is part of inclusive governance. In other words, that everybody should participate in the governance of the country or in the unit in which he resides.
Let's go deep into this special interest group. Some people have concerns that yes, these special interest groups, the positions are there in the House, but actual representation, their concerns do not get the flow, do not come to the floor of the House or even at lower levels of governance.
I think that is the question of capacity of those who are representing. If you know what needs to be done, for instance, in our population, 60 and above, the whole country, we are 2.3 million older persons. In the Western region alone, we have 580,000 older persons. So you have to get to know, engage with them, get to know their needs, and try to address them. The way government and maybe local governments function is that those needs have to be translated into projects that attract money. So if you don't talk, the money will not be there.
You're talking about the money. Let's also speak about what has been happening at Kololo this week. Yeah. Concerns have been coming in from different people, not only you. But for you, your general reading, before even going too deeper into your other person's position, what has been your own assessment on the way the affairs have been conducted at Kololo?
Yeah, I think Kololo should have been fine. But I think the capacity of the NRM Electoral Commission to organize a credible and transparent election is terribly wanting, absolutely wanting.
What is wrong about it?
You see, they don't follow the procedures. There are procedures for holding elections. Let's look at these elections of lining up. Even when it is lining up, an election can be credible. One, you must have an agreed-on register. For in our case, like in Western Uganda, the people to vote are known. Actually, there are 7 per local government. In the Western region, we had 35 districts, 3 cities, 8 municipalities, and 6 city divisions. So those structures are known; they can't change. And the people who are in there, there are 5 of the executive older persons in those structures. Then there are 2 councillors, sitting councillors, female and male. If they are movement, then they participate, bringing to 7 voters per unit. And there are 52 units if you add up. So you just get 52 times 7, and you get a total number of voters to be 364.
And that is the gist of the matter. Yeah. For your polls for other persons, you were 7 candidates in this race. You came, according to the results I have here, you were number 2 from the Electoral Commission.
Absolutely.
And yesterday you went to the tribunal, that petition, the NRM tribunal that was set up to handle your complaints, and gave out your areas of concern. So I want to understand in detail, why aren't you satisfied with your position number 2?
Yeah, the position number 2 would be okay if everything was transparent. Let us look at that. You were not there and I was there. The first thing is that we know all the voters. Even now, we can tell you that the so and so is of this district and so on. So we knew them because we had engaged them. So immediately we finished introducing ourselves. We went to lining up, and immediately we saw people who do not qualify, who are not actually members of those committees. So I raised an objection with the officers from the Electoral Commission who had come to do the counting, because all along the officers were counting and taking the results to Dr. Tango Doi, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, to announce. So I raised an objection. I said, please, we are all mixed up, because now even the Women League had come. It was just like a big market of voters. We said, we are Western region, get our register, read us, and we'll go in a clean place so that you can delineate the voters and the non-voters. Then we vote. That one fell on deaf ears. Then came Dr. Tango Doi, and then he started counting. Counting 1, 2, 3, and so on. He started counting. And that was...
When you say he started counting, I've seen some videos circulating on social media. I don't know whether that was for your position or for a different position. And some people are saying that, yes, these are credible videos, and others saying, no, these are edited. And it seems, according to what is portrayed, that some numbers were jumped, according to what I've seen. I don't know whether that's the correct version. I haven't spoken to Dr. Tango Doi. But I want to understand, when he was counting, was there an issue? Do you have an issue with that, the way he was counting? Because the law doesn't bar him from being the chairman, then being on the line counting.
Absolutely. The question is not who has counted. The issue is how you count. When he started counting, he started with byline. He started counting. There are videos to show that at the end, when he reached 65, he crossed, because my voters were 2 lines. He crossed from the line he was counting and then went to another line, clearly leaving some people there who were not counted, and he went into the other line. One of my people told him that, but you have not counted these ones. And then you can hear even in the video saying, watch away. So he went and counted and then produced 162. Is
there any other grievance, any other issue that you have, apart from this counting, that you think is a strong ground that can make you win a case or even lose it at the tribunal, that you think hasn't been highlighted?
No, it is not a question of another. It is the whole spectrum. In the counting, that is on my side what we saw, which is on record. And even if they played here the video, you would see that he has crossed from this line, where he has been counting 65, he has crossed to the other one and started counting the other line, clearly leaving some people on this particular line. When it came to the line of Jacqueline Babazi, he started counting. This business of saying the video was edited, it was real time, because he was counting 1, 2, 3, there is no break and so on. He kept on counting until he made the major leaps. He started doing leaps and bounds within the counting. 60, 70, 80, 90, 91. Then ahead there at the end, he did 160, 170, 180, 190. You know, until...
You know, I've had similar concerns from different candidates talking about how the management of this polls was conducted. But clearly, when you see members of the same political family having these internal squabbles, from talking about delegates who are not supposed to be part of the conference, National Delegates Conference, accessing, even having tags, that alone, but also talking about the time of elections, talking about the manner of counting, talking about the money that was splashed day and night for the entire week. All these concerns, and even some of them are even attempted at saying that they could even leave. I've seen a tweet coming from Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga saying once these things are not managed or sorted, some of them could be forced to walk away. Why does this whole playbook talk about your party that you've been serving for this?
I think let me first highlight what really took place. In the counting, there are two things in the counting. One, leaving out the people who are in the line and crossing to another line to count when they are not counted on my line. The second one is counting and putting in staffing, what we call line staffing, if I can call that, and you jump. In the process, you add on about 60 voters. Now, when all that was done and completed and they filled in the declaration of results form, the question was even time, when was it conducted? The elections were conducted in the wee hours of 3:30 a.m. In fact, the declaration was done at 3:40 time. But when I got to receive my declaration of results form, it indicates 11:48. Then you ask yourself, why didn't the commission put the time when it did its work? You see, that shows you that there is something, and when you tally that, and you tally it with the counting, that brings a problem. I have already explained to you that the maximum number of voters or votes, if all of them were there, is 364. The results which were produced showed 430, a clear inflation of numbers in there.
Thank you. I want to go back to studio, but the last one is we've seen so many petitions at the tribunal and the results have been upheld. What happens if you still go, now you have the petition, most of the petitions have been upheld? Yeah. What will happen?
Yeah, most of the petitions are upheld because of the evidence. We have the evidence. In the tribunal, we will see that from 60 to 90, they have jumped. Because
I'm looking at, are you willing to go by the decision of the tribunal once it upholds the decision of the Electoral Commission, NRM Electoral Commission? Are you ready to stay on course and support Jacqueline Mbidde and the rest of the team?
I trust in the decisions of organs. If they are not credible, they can be challenged, and the tribunal is not the last organ of the NRM.
Thank you so much, Patrick Mutabwire. He has been a candidate for other persons in Western Uganda on the NRM ticket, but for now, according to the results that were released by the Electoral Commission, he came number 2 out of the 7 candidates, and the position was declared that Jacqueline Mbidde became the victor from that special interest group of other persons. Now handing you back to studios.